Hi class, we are on the last section. This is radioactivity in medicine and other applications. So we've talked about exposure to radiation, but when it's in controlled and the dose is measured, it can be a good thing to tackle some of the problems that we can have. So how do we do that? So the first thing is with radio tracers, which exactly is what it sounds like. They're tracers that can be traced within the body. So they are radioactive nuclides that are attached to a compound, and they can go through your body. Your body will not know the difference between a radioactive isotope and a stable isotope, for instance. It will take it as the same thing. So for instance, one of the things is iodine. When you're looking at a thyroid, you can put a radioactive an isotope of iodine, and your body doesn't know any difference about it being radioactive or the normal iodine. And through there, it can be detected looking at the thyroid, and you can see what's going on with the thyroid. Some of the reasons is because of, let me go through here, is, excuse me, there's a great deal of sensitivity to this, and you can measure the amount of, the rate of iodine that's being uptake through the thyroid. And eventually you can get an image of the gland and you can look at it. So when it's under controlled circumstances, this is a good thing, and they can trace it. And again, the body doesn't know the difference between them. Here's a bone scan, and this image you can see is the front and the back, and it's created by gamma ray emission. This is used to locate cancer that has metastasized, fancy word that's, growing out of control, to the bones from a primary tumor elsewhere, which is really sad. But this is what this is for. So you can see common radio tracers. We can see half-life, 6 hours, 8 days, 44 days, and what it's actually used for in within the body itself. So tumors for phosphorus, thallium, the heart, and so forth. Radioisotopes for diagnosis. So this has to do with positron emission tomography. That's what they call PET scan. And a PET scan is used as fluorine 18 is used to tag glucose. And this fluorine 18 has a half-life of just under 2 hours. So it's going to start decaying very, very quickly. And when it does, it emits a positron, and that will collide with any electrons nearby. When it does that, remember, a positron is opposite of an electron, so it's positive or electron's negative. They will collide with each other, and that point of origin where that it happens can be located, and then from there, excuse me, so when it actually collides, it will produce two gamma rays in opposite directions. That point of origin can be located, and they can then see what's going on with the detailed images that will show because of this. Radiotherapy. So here is a picture of somebody getting some therapy, and this is exposing a cancerous tumor to gamma rays, and it is in a circular motion, which will allow better exposure to the tumor with minimal exposure to healthy tissues. So these are to kill cancers because cancer cells multiply rapidly, extremely rapidly compared to healthy cells. So what you want to do is you want to try to stop those dividing cells. You want to stop that in its place. And you can do that with radiotherapy. Now, non-medical uses of radioisotopes. So some things are smoke detectors, insect control, they can sterilize males, and food preservation, which I'm going to show you. I have some slides from my other lecture. Radioactive tracers and chemical analysis. So one thing people don't know, so here's a picture of strawberries. One that has been exposed to radioactivity and one that hasn't. This one has not, this one has. What is it doing? It's killing. So these are my slides from another class. There are foodborne illnesses such as salmonella, listeria, and E. coli. They are major concerns in the United States, and they're bad. When I was in high school, and this is before you guys were born, if I remember right, Jack in the Box had a bad case where it ended up either killing a couple people or severely doing some major damage. It was really, I don't remember exactly, but I remember that they all of a sudden came out with deals that were 99 cents for a burger, fries, and a soda because they were losing business because of the bad publicity. So the FDA has approved a dose of radiation, which some people might actually be surprised about. And it's within a certain amount of range that they found is safe. What does it do? Well, it treats the food. So when the food passes through a series of these racks, the gamma rays that are exposed to them kill the bacteria that's on this fruit. So I found this nice slide online. Food is exposed to carefully measured amounts of intense radiation. When the food is exposed to it, the radiation energy breaks the bonds of the DNA molecules of microorganisms. The organisms die or they're sterilized, which is something that was discovered here in insect control. They can sterilize the males, thereby they cannot reproduce. So the DNA will still exist. I mean, the organism exists, but it's either dead or it won't produce. Frozen foods takes a larger radiation dose to kill microbes. The effectiveness of the process depends on the organism's sensitivity to irradiation. So here's a picture. You can see, one, if it has had radiation on it, you might be panicking. This will have some sort of sticker or something to notify to let you know that that's what's happened to it. And then B, here's a picture of one that's had a low dose of radiation and one that has not. So tomatoes, blueberries, strawberries, mushrooms, these have been allowed to be irradiated. And there's some kind of sticker that requires a symbol on irradiated food. So this is, and there's a 2 weeks difference in these strawberries. So that's something that I actually didn't know till I taught this